Kenya's Red Cross Society says at least 17 people have died in protests following the announcement of the election results. A further 108 people have been severely injured in clashes with the police. Although the protests have died down, the Red Cross has appealed to Kenyans not to fan the flames on social media. CGTN's Voldikarese takes a look at the organization's response over the weekend.
Volunteers from Kenya's Red Cross Society evacuate a woman seriously injured in clashes in Kibera, Nairobi. They're usually the first respondents in crisis situations. This weekend has been no different. When protests broke out after the announcement of the election results, slum districts like Kibera and Mathare were hardest hit. The Red Cross says it's attended to more than 100 severe injuries. It places the death toll from protests at 17. Kenya's Human Rights Commission puts the figure at 24, while police say 11 people have died over the past few days, including 2 police officers.
Our only protection is our emblem, the Red Cross, and nothing else. We don't carry weapons because you're not allowed to. And our security and safety is on the people that we are supposed to be assisting. So on Friday night, Saturday morning, of course, we had lots of calls calling us to go to this area or that area and pick up this person or that person. But I want to say here clearly that the safety and the lives of our staff and volunteers, majority of our volunteers, is very dear to us and their well-being. So when there was a full-out fighting or insecurity or conflict between the police and the protesters, is only so much that one can do, and we wait until a window of opportunity arises where we can go in and evacuate people, take them to hospital and treat them on the spot as with the pre-hospital care.
The Red Cross says it's been inundated with calls, particularly on Sunday evening. Many were found to be fake. Rumors and tension further fueled by reports on social media.
Lots of hype on the social media in the last few days of fake photographs and fake pictures that are not true stories of today. And I think as Kenyans, we all have a responsibility, especially our friends in the media, both local and even international ones. Please verify these information. Let us not add fuel to the fire that's already burning. We need to put off this fire in our country so that we can all get back to our normal lives.
The Red Cross says by Sunday evening it appeared the protests had died down, but thousands of volunteers remain on standby throughout the country. Voldikarese, CGTN, Nairobi, Kenya.
And CGTN's Robert Nagila has been keeping tabs on the election here in Nairobi. He's joining me here. Robert, you've been monitoring the election since last Tuesday. The opposition now is expected to chart their next course of action on Tuesday, which is a week from the election itself. What are their options?
Oh, thank you very much, Beatrice. Now, that's the $64 million question. Exactly where do they go from here? Because we've already heard from opposition leader Raila Odinga, and he's made it very, very clear they're not going to seek redress through the courts. He has also said that they will go to seek solidarity with the people, their supporters. Now, at this particular moment, what we do know is that they have said on Tuesday, which is tomorrow, they will present evidence to show just how the international community, the media, and the whole world really has been taken for a ride. They say they have compelling evidence. They intend to produce it tomorrow. Now, that's what we've been asking for the last 1 week. Show us the evidence, because they say that they were rigged out. In terms of options, that's what everybody's scratching their heads. Number one would be civil disobedience. Right. But judging by the route they took yesterday, asking people not to go to work, which flopped, that doesn't seem to be on the table. So we'll just have to wait and see what steps they will announce next. And
we've just seen from Alexandria's story in Kisumu that even in the stronghold of the opposition, many people turned up to work, you know, defying that, so to use the word, defying the call to work boycott. And across the country, many places, business resumed as usual. Will this catch on, or is that work boycott likely to fizzle out now?
Well, Beatrice, first you've got to look over the last 72 hours. there's been calm in all the pockets where, all the areas where we had violence, and that's primarily within Mr. Odinga's strongholds. It's been calm. It was not as bad as the 2 days after President Uhuru Kenyatta was declared winner. So over the weekend, yesterday, up until yesterday, it's been very, very calm. Now, that announcement for people to boycott has backfired on them. And it does appear at this particular moment that they have backed themselves into a corner. Very important to notice also is over the last couple of days, we've not seen the main principles of the opposition that are always with Mr. Odinga, Mr. Kalonzo, Mr. Mudavadi, Mr. Ruto. They've been nowhere. They've been very, very quiet. Now, we're not sure if this is a sign that they've also taken a step back, but they're just not showing their support at the moment. So there's a lot of questions regarding Mr. Odinga's camp, but we do know that he's a very astute politician. He's broken political parties into two. He's caused trouble for many a government. So do not count him out yet. But at the moment, he seems to be very, very weakened.
Well, President Kenyatta has spoken out today. Is that likely to calm nerves?
Oh, yes. Remember as well that this was the first time that we were seeing President Uhuru Kenyatta in public after the Electoral Commission declared him winner of the 2017 presidential poll. Now, he was not even supposed to speak at that particular time, but we were then told that he would say a few words. We were not allowed to ask any questions, I believe, because they're waiting to see what Mr. Odinga's next move will be. However, he, in terms of coming, this was the reason that he spoke out and the reason that he appeared in public was supposed to project an image of normalcy returning after those riots that we've seen, the violence, and urging people, look, go to work. There's adequate security to protect you, your businesses. So there's absolutely no problem. Remember, the economy is taking quite a beating, but we're beginning to see some signs of growth as well. The stock market, for example, 3 percentage points increase today. The transport industry saying they'd lost at least $5 million in that space of time when nobody was going to work. So a lot of things need to be looked at, but at the moment it does appear that normalcy is beginning to return, if you can call it that, in across the entire country.
Well, Robert, briefly, what next?
That's a big question. We know that President Uhuru Kenyatta will be sworn in around the 25th, thereabouts. But all eyes, including the president's camp, are now firmly watching Mr. Odinga. The ball is firmly in his court. What steps does he take? We'll just have to wait and see tomorrow what happens. But guaranteed to be very, very interesting on the Kenyan political scene, as always.
All right, Robert, we'll be keeping tabs on that. As always, the opposition statement expected on Tuesday.